the mic and he's ready to go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Ooh. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Bakersfield. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a fantastic week. If you're an East Coaster and you're a baseball fan, hey, shout out to you. These games end late. Actually, last night wasn't too bad.
Last night I think was doable for everybody, but the game wasn't worth staying up.
And I guess most people watch at their home so they could turn it off, go to bed. We don't do that. But the World Series is underway. We're tied at ones after Houston, H-Town, Funky Town, Space City, Buzz City, busy, Houston. They win 7-2 final last night. I don't know. It's the current concern of the World Series is that are these teams going to play good games? Next game actually has potential. We're 2 games in. Let's see what's going on. Baseball remains hot in the street. Thanks to everyone live in the chat right now. Maxwell, Josh, Ashton, Normal Dog, Jaded Genius. Wow. That's a tough way to live. Good morning. I'm here with Big Baby David Mendelson on the ones and twos. Couple more days as a Manhattan resident than you're not, than you are again? Question mark?
I think so. I guess the second stint isn't locked in. We're waiting on a co-op board to meet, which I would assume, I'm guessing they do the first week of the month or something.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. We looked into a couple of those when we were moving to the city.
Yeah.
Weird city. Why do we...
The real estate...
Why is stuff different?
The way it works here just sucks.
Bizarre.
I'm on a couple, weird... My TikTok gives me some real estate stuff, which I've never personally, sought out, but I get a lot of it. New York, everyone's getting screwed. It's which you know, literally. But they're like, this is worse than ever.
Yeah.
It's good time for me to move.
Good times. Yeah, man, it's the City of Lights. Baseball will be going down in the City of Lights. None of that sentence made sense. We'll talk some more Houston, Atlanta, kind of where we're at, what we can look forward to going forward. It's tough, people. It's tough. It's Thursday. We've all been in it. Trying to see Jimmy's damn baby. Katie's kind of being a baby hog right now.
Yeah, I've been digging. Trying to find it.
Oh.
Can't.
Oh. So, we'll catch ourselves up on the World Series. We will be revealing all the behind-the-scenes Chris Rose stories. A lot of, the stuff you hear about. Very rude to people, screaming in our faces. But when that camera turns on, he's a nice guy. So we'll reveal all that. We'll talk some of this NFL upcoming weekend. I know there's there's supposed to be a more fun game tonight. Packers-Cardinals. The Packers have the COVID going through their team right
I didn't
now.
realize the Lazard part of it. I knew they were just missing Devontae, which by itself is a big one.
He does a lot. And the whole thing, Rodgers, he never has skill guys and Devontae Adams, so we'll get to that. I think there are a couple good games on the slate this weekend. Let's talk some baseball. No ads today. We're adless.
Adless.
That's huge. Go to the John Boy Media store. Promo code PLAYOFFS on the JM Essential line. It's over at the end of the playoffs. That promotion is over. What is it, 15% off?
15% off anything on the Essentials line.
And that includes some, like...
potentially by our next episode of this, it's done.
Yeah, that's the risk you run. So, those nice hoodies everyone's been wearing, some of these hats,
that hat is one of them.
Kind of our fits.
It's the ones that are like, oh, this is like real clothes.
Yeah. Some essentials. That's the name of the line. So, would appreciate that. Let's go through last night's game. Game 2 of the World Series. The Braves won Game 1. You guys already know that now if you're listening to a sports show. And you probably already know they won Game 2. But, Braves win Game 1. They kind of dominated. They never got scared, really, by the Astros. And they had Max Fried going, their guy, hoping he bounced back, wondering if it was mechanical, is he tipping things, people asking questions. Early, Houston scores in the first. They score 1. And that was important. It sounds dumb. David Cohn, Tone the Slab, they talked about the importance of scoring the first run in a playoff game. I think teams are winning at like a 70% clip if they score the first run or something impressive, something you have to consider. And, it's just a bounce-back game. They had the Dome open. First time Dome was open for a playoff game since 2005. Chris Rose said that. I didn't double-check it. That could be wrong. So the crowd was pretty electric. So they score in the first. I say they only score 1. They were pounding the ball in the first. And that's where baseball becomes a funny sport. Travis Darno, Miggy Rojas's pick for World Series MVP, he hits a homer into the Crawford box. We're tied at 1s. It's kind of like, okay, let's do this. Fried versus Urquidy. Urquidy, thick beard, heavy changeup. The second inning, our guy Max Fried gets kind of dinked and dunked all over. They initially score on an infield single from Siri. Yes, S-I-R-I. If you don't know who he is, you may want to get into it. I think Jose Siri is going to be a factor in this series the rest of the way. He's 26. He's pretty electric, fast. He only played, how many games is this? He played 21 games of Major League Baseball for Houston. I guess here is something I didn't know coming into the trade deadline, the playoffs. Houston, their team is nasty, disgusting. They have Maldonado behind the plate, and you're like, okay, I get it. Maldonado's kind of your traditional catcher. Gross arm. We saw that in the previous series when he had the perfect throw on the strike him out, throw him out. Does enough hitting-wise, but he's like their guy. Like, he's kind of been their guy. So you get that, and there's a lot of catchers. If there's a position to do that in, it's catcher. Now, the one that surprised me was the Houston Astros center field hasn't been a strong position for them. Well, it was with George Springer. It was very strong. Quite strong, yes. Since then, Chas McCormick has been there, and hey, he's a young baseball player. He's, maybe he's better than we think. They also called up Jake Myers. That's the dude that ran into the wall in the White Sox series. Either way, here's what you need to know. The Houston Astros, you go around the horde. I mentioned Maldonado, whatever. First base, Yuli Gurriel, he hit 7th. He won the batting title. Yep. Jose Altuve, don't have to tell you. Carlos Correa, yep. About to get heavy 9 figures in free agency for the way he plays baseball. Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez, these guys are the future of the Astros. They are young studs. OPS is in like the 9s. Career Tucker this year. Michael Brantley. His nickname's quite literally Dr. Smooth, and it's not like a joke. Only a few guys that can handle the nickname Dr. Smooth. Not me. So the one thing on this Astros team that kind of didn't check out was center field. I just didn't get it. I was like, Chas McCormick, Jose Siri, I didn't really know who he was, Jake Myers. It's like, okay. So, I don't know. Maybe they just believe center fielders have to cover ground. Like, that's all they need. Just have a center field that catches balls.
The rest of that lineup, just get a guy who can play the position.
When we talk, some of our Brett Gardner conversations we've had on Talking Yanks, center fielders aren't abundant. There's not a lot of good center fielders. So in my head, maybe that was part of Houston's strategy. Like, well, let's just get a center fielder that catches balls and we'll stack everything else. That wouldn't be a terrible plan. I think Jose Siri, and hey, maybe baseball's a little bit of roulette if we're being honest. Jose Siri seems like the guy, and maybe it's a swag thing. He's got the chains bouncing. I believe in that. He's fast. We saw him run to first. I'll see if he even has baseball savant speed stuff in his limited action, but it looked like he could fly. And he just seems like a threat at the plate. I just typed in baseball savant and didn't put in his name, which was a really bad strategy.
6'2".
So Jose Siri's listed 6'2", 175. He is 26 years old. Sprint speed, 99th percentile. So that checks out. So, interested to see how that plays out. Could just be a wrong read, but Chris Rose.
Small sample size eye test stuff.
The smallest of sample size in an eye test, but I know Chris Rose, who's watched more baseball than you will remember.
He's forgotten more.
That's what it is.
You would ever know.
He kind of had a similar reaction. All of us did when Siri scored, and he kind of was being cool guy. So, interested to see. Jose Siri might be one of the, from this series, or at least this Astros team, he might be a deeper cut. A deeper cut you might have to learn. You kind of know the other guys.
He feels like among their center field mix, and I guess Myers is hurt and everything. But he feels like the one that brings the most to the table, even if he's not hitting. I'm sure maybe they believe in McCormick to eventually be a hitter because he's been the one getting the bulk of the playing time, I think.
It's just, and it's where the postseason is tough. It almost turns into relievers, like who's hot. I'm not going to start comparing who's got the chance at a better career, Jose Siri or Chas McCormick or Jake Myers. I have no idea. If Jake Myers doesn't get hurt in the White Sox series, does Siri play at all? Maybe not. But you could tie that to like Soler and Rosario. So it's kind of fun baseball stuff. Let me get a quick taste of Jose Siri's minor league numbers to see if I should believe more. He's got a ton of stolen bases. I'm into that. 783 OPS. Okay, yeah. I'll take that. What are you doing AAA Sugarland this year? 318, 369, 921. Yeah. Sure. Give me this Jose Siri Kool-Aid. So,
looked into Chas McCormick a little more. I don't think he's someone they believe in long term. He's older than I thought.
Okay.
On their prospect list, but number 17.
Chess. And yeah, hey, Jose Siri, 26 years old. I know in baseball world that used to kind of be cool. Now it's like it's not. Yeah. He was
young.
He was in the Reds org. And he was technically hit free agency this year. So I don't know if that was just a minor league contract or whatever, but good for him. Marley Rivera tweeted after the game that he has some dance videos, so I looked into that. Nothing crazy, but baseball guys dancing in the locker room, so I'll always take that.
I would guess it's because he wasn't like on the 40 man, so he reached minor league free.
Yeah, I think it just didn't get protected, and ain't that it? Astros put up a 4 spot in the second that stretched out the lead. Atlanta in the 5th, they push one across on a Freddie Freeman single to make it 5-2, and you're like, okay, let's do this. Let's dance a little bit. Next inning, nope. That was it. Max Fried settled down. We talked to Lucas Giolito on the live stream, starting pitcher for the White Sox and friend of Max Fried, who was watching Max Fried pitch. And when Houston was pitching, he'd go play his NHL create a player mode, where Davy Jones was trying to get drafted.
Trying to get to the Kraken.
By the Kraken. So, I think we've all been there. Yeah, this game lost its luster. Fried settled in, and hey, that second inning, I don't think he looked too bad. I think there was some stat that this playoffs, there hasn't been a starting pitcher that gave up 4 hits with exit velos under 95 miles per hour or something in a start. And I think he did that in the second inning alone.
I think it was 4 consecutive guys.
Yeah. So that's baseball. It's baseball a little bit. Put it in play. If you want to get mad at shifts and stuff, it is what it is. Houston dominated this game. Altuve, icing on the cake. He hits a homer. Second all-time in playoff home runs. Pretty wild. The man is my height, but in shape. So that's pretty crazy. Astros pen looked good. Javier, who's kind of their pivot weapon, came out of the pen. 1.1, 27 pitches. So that's good for him. The last time he was out, I think he threw 50-something. Braves pen kind of did their thing, except Drew Smyly. He was scary for a moment. Kyle Wright will be interesting to see. Pitched the final inning. The kid from Vandy Man like myself. 1 inning, 3 strikeouts. And he was, the body added when they lost. Or was he the body added, or was he on there beforehand anyways? Either way, Kyle Wright, when Charlie Morton got hurt, if Atlanta wants to do this, some dudes are going to have to step up in their bullpen. Kyle Wright could be that guy. He's got the arm talent. Talent usually prevails this time of year. Let me see. They added Tucker Davidson. Kyle Wright was on there, but Kyle Wright, his role got a lot more important as that happened. So we're tied at 1. Let's get some stats. People love stats. We're heading to Atlanta. The Braves, how about this, people? The Braves are 5-0 at home this postseason. That's cool. That's something to root for.
They keep that going. And
then it would be the last week in Jake with new baseball. Let's see. Who's doing stuff for the Braves? Darno's 3 for 8. Solaire's 3 for 8. Ozzy's 3 for 8. Dansby 2 for 6. Yeah, okay. Austin Riley, Freddie, Rosario, Jock with nothing really. Okay. That kind of bodes well. Freddie Freeman had a slow start in the Dodgers series. He found it. I think you could very well see that again. I wouldn't bet against Freddie Freeman. He slapped one the other way yesterday. Austin Riley, I mean, again, he's been barreling a couple balls. Rosario, that might be the one you circle. All the analytics geeks talked about how he was you can't stay that hot. We'll see. He hit it at people. We'll see.
Still hitting the ball pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of line drives. It felt like right at first base.
Yeah.
That was something. What's going on in Houston, H-Town, Funky Town, Space City, Party City, City, NASA City? Michael Brantley, 5 for 9. Oh. Yordan Alvarez is 1 for 5 with 2 walks. What am I missing here?
The one's a triple.
The one's a triple. So he's 1 for 5, 2 walks. See, he must have a sack fly or something I'm missing. The at-bats aren't adding up in my head, but... So, Michael...
He got hit by a pitch last night. I don't know if one happened the night before as well, or there's a sack fly the night before.
Maybe that's it, because he would have 2 walks and a hit by pitch in 2 games. The highest OPSs on Houston in this series are Michael Brantley and Yordan Alvarez. And if you want to throw another wrench into it, Kyle Tucker. Yordan Alvarez and Michael Brantley, we don't think one of them is going to start in Atlanta. I think coming into this series, everyone leaned Michael Brantley. He's 5 for 9. And he looks 5 for 9. He's just barreling anything he sees. I don't know what you do. The video game version of this is you put Kyle Tucker in center. Jose Siri, the guy I just raved about. You have him on the bench.
Yeah, then pinch run for one of them late, and that's it.
And you just hope your outfield can hold on enough. I don't think they're going to do that. I still think it's Brantley, and you pinch hit him. I don't know. It's very, very tricky for Dusty.
I've been going back and forth on it a lot because there's like no good answer, no bad answer. I think if you have one of them on the bench, then you have like an actual like option. You're going to need to pinch hit for a pitcher at some point.
Yeah.
So then you have like a real weapon, because otherwise then it's McCormick, Siri, Aledmus Diaz, I guess if it's a lefty reliever in.
So their bench right now is Aledmus Diaz, Marwin Gonzalez. Didn't know
he's
that.
on the playoff roster?
Is that right? Are we getting punked? Marwin Gonzalez is an Astro?
I knew he was on the team, but I didn't know he was on the playoff roster. Oh, nope. Quote from him from Tuesday. It is special to be on the Astros World Series roster.
How about that?
So he's there.
So, and Marwin and Alamedas, they're both listed as infielder / outfielder. I think
they both played some corner outfield.
Yeah, and I just don't know if that's their strength. That gets really interesting.
I guess in theory, if it's a lefty righty reliever, whichever one, they're a threat. Whichever one you're subbing in, and you can put them in whenever.
Marwin switch hits.
I think he's been. I know one of his sides has been nothing, and I'm assuming it's righty.
That would be good for him. Aledmus Diaz and Jose Siri. Yeah, I mean, I guess just the thing that makes you nervous is you can't really finish with an outfield of Yordan, Brantley, and Kyle Tucker in center.
Yeah, I mean, I think my head feels like it feels crazy to not have Yordan in the starting lineup, but if you pinch hit him the first time a pitcher comes up, you can keep him. You can do a double switch thing, keep him out there for like 3 innings, get him like 2 at bats, and then you switch him out for defense late if you've got a lead.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
That's the one that feels like makes the most. Because Brantley, you just kind of need to get him ABs. Because he's just seeing it so
really
clearly
good
right now.
He made a nice catch.
And I think his like ability to play the outfield. I'm curious what Savant says. Like sprint speed's really just the issue.
Yeah,
I think he's like a fine and bad outfield jump, bad outs above average. I think it all comes back to the speed stuff. But
yeah.
I would assume you trust his glove overall and like
5
making
for
right
9.
decision over Yordan.
If there's a play near him, he's going to make it. I don't know if you can say that about Yordan.
I think he's going to make a
Alvarez.
special play.
Like Michael Brantley's played in the outfield for his career. Yordan's just a young beast of a man.
Yordan feels like you're like put it on the table, move at some point, which Brantley would be as well if he's on your bench. But
yeah, I don't know.
If Yordan, you can put him in whenever you feel like it, basically.
And he could also play first, too. I wonder that gives you some more NL versatility, kind of. Like, if you need to take out...
What are you going to...
If you want to take out Yuli, and then you can still leave your outfield open.
Really hit. I think he hasn't really hit for power. You're not taking him out.
I don't think he can bench Breggy. I don't know. These are the things that...
Yuli, I don't think's played anything but first in a while.
These are the things that National League Baseball offers, and this may be the last time it offers it. So this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, enjoy it. We will find out together what they'll do. Fayao, no DH certainly hurts the Astros in non-DH games as much as DH helps the Braves in DH games. Okay, that's a little mental twister for me. I think no DH probably hurts the Astros more.
Yes, he's saying that having the DH was such a benefit to the Braves because they kind of
I guess what Soler
hitting.
What Soler did in the first game, there's a discussion there, but I think over 7 games, you take Jordan and Brantley over Soler and Jock, or Soler and Eddie. Although Eddie just won MVP. We will see. We'll be watching with us. Our plan is to live stream. Again, we'll see if that Halloween baby finds its way out. If not, it might not be me and Jimmer. We'll see. I think he'll be in for tomorrow. We'll see. We're going to see him in a little bit.
Happen.
Yeah. Maybe that baby pops out now.
We haven't seen him yet today.
I don't know.
Do the Braves have, like, an interesting choice to make? Because, like, Jock hasn't really done anything. But Soler had the leadoff homer in Game 1.
It's Luis Garcia, and I think they pretty much just go lefty-righty.
Yeah, that seems to be what they're doing.
And I think Soler of those outfielders is the least defensive option.
Yeah. It would be between him and Eddie.
Yeah. Eddie's got an outfield assist this series.
I think Eddie can
do
it for the most part.
Do a little more.
Soler was primarily DH, I think, with the Royals last couple of years.
I think for them it's pretty much lefty-righty. Luis Garcia gets the start. And if they can
both will get involved in the game.
Yeah, and this is what they do. They're a National League Baseball team. So we'll see. The sterile shopping mall in Atlanta should be rocking. Excited to see that. It's gonna be fun. I think you can say this with pretty much any baseball series ever, so it sounds dumb to say, but Game 3 is gonna be huge. Because if the Braves lose, they're going to be looking at back-to-back bullpen days to try to, save their season. Meanwhile, if Houston loses, they have Odo, who his last time out he looked good, and he's like a starting pitcher by trade.
He's at least going to...
He can give you a good...
He can at least give you potentially 5 innings.
Good playoff 4 even.
Bank on him for 3, which they haven't been able to do with anybody.
So, yeah, I think Game 3 is a lot more important for the Braves.
They can't drop
than Houston.
Fried and Ion starts back-to-back with Morton.
Just losing Morton. Because, you're not going to see Fried or Ion Anderson till Game 6 and 7. And those aren't currently promised. So we'll see. Again, Atlanta's undefeated at home. If you believe in things like that, I hope we do believe in things like that because home field advantage should matter in any sport. I don't know. That's kind of it. I think if you've been following baseball, you know the players in this series. We could use a good game.
A good game.
A good game.
For several reasons, I'd like if the not having DH stuff really affects the Astros.
Yeah.
One, I would prefer they don't win. That's just a personal preference. 2, that would be a nice little highlight on the DH stuff right before it's probably going away anyway.
Yeah. No, and it would be
that pushes us over the edge for that.
That can be a very much something that feels impactful. If Jordan Alvarez ends up in left field and a double lands right outside of his glove,
yeah,
that impacts the pitching staff. That impacts Houston,
or even just they couldn't start him, or he couldn't end the game.
That impacts the Braves. So, I think those are the updates. We will be doing Talking Baseball coming up in a little bit. And, it's going to be the last weekend of baseball. How about that? Halloween this weekend? Spooky. Chris Rose. Again, cameras on. Nice, man. Cameras off.
Hurtful.
Yes.
Jordan has played 2 games and left this postseason.
Only in Houston, or were they?
Ooh, good question.
Because
One
Houston
of them
is a fake left
in
field.
Houston. The other one, yep, both in Houston. Game 2 of the DS, Game 1 of the CS.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting for Dusty. Dusty has a plan. And hey,
Brantley DH those days.
as we said, and hey, maybe this is our Houston bias leaking out that, if a ball lands outside of Jordan Alvarez's glove, how that's going to affect them. Hey, what if Jordan Alvarez pinch hits for a pitcher and hits a 3-run homer?
Cool moment.
Then Dusty won. That's the update. Let's hope for some good baseball games this weekend. Lead changes. Let's get some lead changes. That's what I'm rooting for this weekend. And you should too. Let's see, BBD. Anything outside of the NFL? There's college football. Actually, last weekend was a soft college football slate. Let me get some games for people. This is what we do, people. We get you ready for some of the games this weekend. Coastal Carolina plays tonight, so that's huge. They're ranked 24th, so I guess I shouldn't joke about that. College football, man. Weird times. Okay, Michigan State. Noon on Saturday. Number 6 Michigan versus number 8 Michigan State. 2 very proud schools. Okay. What am I doing Saturday? We're probably doing Talking Baseball.
Talking baseball in the morning and a stream that night.
Stream that night?
presumably.
Okay. I'm interested. Iowa at Wisconsin, also a nooner. Texas at Baylor. Miami at Pitt. Okay. Let's see. We got any other good ranked action? Georgia at Florida. Florida's not ranked, unfortunately. America's largest martini party? Tea party? I always get that one wrong. Really like to see that. Man, Michigan State. Those are proud people. Let's see. Florida State, Clemson, unranked. Clemson, man. I watched them play last weekend, and they don't look like the Clemson teams you'd be familiar with. It was ugly. It's hard to watch. Let's see. Ole Miss, Auburn at 7 p.m. 10 versus 18. Okay. I'm interested. Number 12, Kentucky at Mississippi State. Could be interesting. And Penn State is at Ohio State. 7:30. That's number 20 Penn State and number 5 Ohio State. I think Penn State just lost. Otherwise, that'd be a lot more fun. Okay, college football people. I think last weekend wasn't a good one for you. I think this one's lined up. Michigan State, man. That's fun. It's in East Lansing, 6 versus 8. That's, tune into that game. That game means something to a lot of people down there. And then Ole Miss, Auburn. So what's the best afternoon game? So that's the skill I have in life. So yeah, I guess what you can do if you have to juggle Saturday and doing real life things, you catch some of that nooner. Michigan State, if it's good, you ride it out. If not, you take a little 3:30 to 7:30 hiatus, and then you catch yourself some Ole Miss at Auburn with a little Penn State, Ohio State. A lot of proud schools. Go Sports.
Could be your flip with the baseball that night.
With the baseball, and that leads us into NFL Sunday, where me and BBD eat crow on all of our bad takes briefly, and then we compliment ourselves on all our good takes. Like we previewed tonight, some Irish fans in the chat. Nick Mugnani, am I saying that right, in the chat? After that, might have to go fire up NCAA 14. Yeah, I think I have a select track of college football fight songs just embedded in my brain from playing the NCAA football games. Packers, Cardinals, NFL action tonight. The undefeated Cardinals, 7-0 in Arizona. Is Cole Tucker going to that game? That feels like something Cole Tucker would be at. I'm going to say
Those two teams are combined.
Cardinals game tonight? Feels something like Cole Tucker would be at. Cardinals are 7-0. They're facing the Packers, who are 6-1. Aaron Rodgers. They've won their last 6. They lost that first game. They're hot. In Arizona. Arizona's 6.5-point favorites, mostly because, as we mentioned, Devontae Adams is out with COVID. Allen Lazard, second receiver, out with COVID. I don't know.
J.J. Watt's out.
6.5 feels like a lot for a Cardinals team that's undefeated. The pressure is kind of on them. Fail in the chat. Cole Tucker is filling in as a line judge. Yeah, I can see that.
Probably.
Ball boy. It's on the sideline, tossing them. Or with the owner, sharing sweet treats. He can do it all. Maybe a couple snaps at tailback. I'll be interested to see how this game plays out. There is no baseball tonight, so tune in if you're interested. Cardinals, this would be their kind of full-blown announcement. Everyone likes Kyler. We kind of went through these NFC teams, and the top of the NFC is really stacked right now. If the Cardinals win this, they're kind of fully announcing, like, you have to treat us like everyone else. Treat us like the Tampa Bay Bucks. If they lose this, I think people are going to be pretty aggressively mean to a 7-1 team. And Aaron Rodgers and Adam Jones, man. Adam Jones is playing in this game, right? Adam Jones, Packers?
Aaron Jones. Right?
What's that?
It's Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. I'm thinking of
the baseball player.
Center field, Jose Siri on the mind. Dude, you should have seen how bad I just typed in everything into Google so poorly. He was Aaron Jones, one of my better Gruden grinders, R.I.P.
Yeah, that sucks.
We're rooting for a good game. Always. I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for the Cardinals. I really like Kyler Murray. His story's awesome. Little guy. Take the Cardinals treat them with respect.
I like them.
But I don't know. Rodgers.
They're a little bit the story of the season, but Rodgers kind of rips people's hearts out.
Rodgers lives for these.
People have reasons to doubt them this week. Playing the undefeated team.
Yeah, Rodgers lives for this shit, man. That's where, when I saw Arizona 6.5, I don't like that. I would, if you're a gambling man or lady, I lean Packers there.
If football isn't your thing and you're looking to get into the basketball, Knicks Bulls tonight I think is also gonna be really fun. For
first place.
Two of the more starved fan bases the last several years, because I was really thinking, I think it was like over the last 5 years, those are the two teams with the most losses.
Is that in Chicago?
In Chicago.
Yeah, that game's got some juice to it. That'll be fun.
That's the
tonight.
NBA game with juice.
We'll get you a little NBA preview. We'll walk you into the weekend. So that's tonight. Packers Cardinals. Bulls Knicks. Let's see the Sunday slate. We just gave you your Saturday plans. You're watching Michigan State at noon. You can wane your way through midday, and then 7:30, Ohio State, Penn State, Ole Miss, and I'm blanking on who they're playing, but we got games for you. Sunday, let's see, 1 p.m., Panthers, Falcons. You're not watching, but you're going to get some good highlights, I think. These teams are, Falcons are 3-3, Panthers are 3-4, and they've just lost 4 straight. These teams are starving for a win, and they can each, significantly elevate their season. We talked about this on Monday. If you're the Panthers, you're back at 4-4. McCaffrey, I think, comes back next week.
Or he's eligible, at least.
And it's okay, our seasons, we're a 500 team, and we lost our best player for 5 weeks, 6 weeks maybe. Let's go. Let's get it back on track. If you're the Falcons, you can go to 4-3. They're favored in this game by 3 points. Matt Ryan's playing a lot better. Traded for him in fantasy. People care about that. So I think Kyle Pitts is real. I think Matt Ryan is real enough as an NFL quarterback. And the NFC South kind of stinks. I think this will be a good game, but I don't think you want to watch every down. I don't think it's going to be good football.
If you're flipping to Red Zone, you'll be interested in the updates from the game.
It's going to be some good highlights.
And the result, then whatever the end result ends up being, will be impactful.
The Bills host the Dolphins. Minus 13.5 favorites for the Buffalo Bills. The Bills beat the Dolphins 40-0, if I remember that accurately. And that was in Miami. I guess the only thing for any of our Finns fans out there, hashtag Finn fans, Tua did have a nice game last week, so maybe you can root for that. Bills are coming off a bye. I don't know, Dolphins. I don't know. Bills big. This should start off a nice part of their schedule. Niners, Bears. The 2-4 Niners, like we tried to tell you guys, as we guessed. Versus the 3-4 Bears. In Chicago, Niners are a 4-point favorite. Justin Fields has looked awful. Bears can get back to 500. Niners are kind of trying to save their season. Jimmy G looked terrible last week.
If the Niners lose this week, they're kind of toast as is, but are they done? They're done, right? Kind of done anyway.
I think they're kind of done anyways. If they lose this, they're super done. They're without Trey Lance.
Bears, it would be nice for them to have this win in the back pocket, but that's not what this season is.
I guess here's my thing. Let me get to Football Reference. The 49ers, Jake Storielli talking about the 49ers. So last year, they went 6-10. They had a bunch of injuries. 2019 they were 13-3. They lost the Super Bowl. Shanahan, whatever. Before that, they were 4-12, 6-10, 2-14. That's too far back. That was Chip Kelly in 2016. So let's not Kaepernick. Was a quarterback for them that year. We've come a long way since then. So let's do the Shanahan era. They go 6-10. Jimmy G. 2018, they go 4-12, and that year their injuries were brutal. Nick Mullins is getting a lot of run. They go to the Super Bowl. Shanahan, Jimmy G, Raheem Mostert, George Kittle, and it's okay, everyone's in on Shanahan. Garoppolo, the amount of games he wins when he plays is crazy, blah, blah, blah. Last year, they had the injury bug kind of again, but now we're getting into 4 years of this. And it's all right, whatever. They draft a quarterback. They don't think Garoppolo's their guy. He gets hurt again. They're now 2-4 again. Garoppolo not the answer playing. And by the way, Trey Lance, like, let's not pretend he's the answer. At least not right now. He was supposed to be the biggest project
He's
coming
supposed to be
out.
the number one. Like, all right, you sit him a year.
Like,
guy.
crazy talent. But, so, I mean, I don't know. If I'm a Niners fan, I got to be pretty confused right now. This is year 5 of Shanahan at head coach, which head coaches don't really do that. And only one of them is a winning season.
It was almost as winning a season as you can get, but it was...
Right. It's a fantastic year, but it's definitely the outlier.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I
just looking at that page, going Jimmy G, Mullins, Jimmy G, Mullins, Jimmy G.
Yeah.
That's just tough on the heartstrings.
Right. Yeah, and that's hey, maybe that's right, and maybe that's where Trey Lance ties in, and Shanahan is a good coach, and Trey Lance is the answer. And look at the Cardinals right now. Kyler Murray looks like the answer. They're undefeated. By the way, they play in the same division as the Niners. So does Russell Wilson as of right now. So does Sean
Rams are
McVay
good.
and Matthew Stafford. So
Rams, a lot of teams preseason Super Bowl pick.
everyone that yelled at us, shut your butts about it.
They're in the best division. It's tough.
Football's tough, and they have a lot of respect from 1 year. I don't know. Niners fans, let me know. Bears, they have
so many players.
They have a chance to go to 500 at home and be like the Bears are still around. I don't know. That's an ugly game. Do not watch it. Do not watch it. I promise you. Steelers, Brownies. Browns are a 3.5-point favorite. Steelers coming off the bye week. Browns are having trouble with their QB situation. Baker is getting the starter reps this week. Everyone was super down on the Steelers to start the year. Browns at home. They're now 3.5-point favorites in this game at home to the Steelers, which I'm pretty sure means this would be a pick-em if they were in Pittsburgh. I don't know. The Browns are in a nervous kind of area right now because that division has totally flip-flopped. I mean, the Ravens are still good. I guess we expect that. But the Bengals are like America's team now. So this is a huge game. If you're the Browns and you drop to 400, Steelers, you can go to 4-3 and your season's kind of on track. Or 3-4, and that's kind of what everyone expects. That's an interesting game. I'm circling that one. Eagles, Lions, no. Nope. Will not discuss. Colts, Titans. Ooh, man, if you believe in Vegas, the 5-2 Titans, who are hot, recently beat some of the best teams in the league. Bills, Chiefs, when we still thought they were good. Colts are 1-point favorites at home. That's the NFL. That'll test you. I'm really interested. People care so much about my fantasy stock. Picked up Carson Wentz in a couple leagues. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit. He looked a lot better. Colts at home to get to 500. Titans, very streaky team. This is it. This is Colts win by a point or Titans win by 14. I don't know what happens. Bengals Mania. They're playing the Jets in East Rutherford, New Jersey. They are 10.5-point favorites. I'll tell you what. If I was a betting man, I would bet good money on the Jets to cover. I don't know what that means. I just have seen this a lot, and it's part of what makes the NFL great. A young football team, 10 double-digit favorites on the road. The first time everyone's liking them. Joe Burrow, you're great. Jamar Chase, you're great. The Jets, who beat the Tennessee Titans
Their
at
win
home.
this year is Titans.
I'm just saying that's a huge number, especially in the gambling world. Should the Bengals win this game? Absolutely. It's still the Jets. Bengals have been good on the road. Jets are 1-1 at home. Jeez. 0-4 on the road. But yeah, I don't know. This reeks of Jets score on their opening drive, and it's like a 10-3 game Jets into the second. And you're like, wow, 10.5 points in the NFL is a lot. And then the Bengals turn it on and they win easily. But little Jakey gambler there.
I believe Mike White is starting for the Jets this week. But they get Flacco back.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, let's get some Flacco. Mike White, it didn't look awful. Now, what does that mean? He didn't look good.
Expectation stuff. But
sometimes you see quarterbacks play and you're like, oh, my God. What sport?
who encouraged you to pursue this career?
And that's a kudos to the NFL. Mike White was back there, and, hey, maybe it's just in comparison to other Jets quarterbacks, but he looked like a human.
Looked like he knew what was going on.
10.5. On the road, the Bengals? Interesting. Rams play the Texans. Do not watch. Same with Bengals Jets, by the way. So that's the 1 o'clock slate. So what's the watch game? Maybe Steelers-Browns is the watch game. Or Colts-Titans, but...
Yeah, I mean, Panthers-Falcons, you're not going to want to watch it. Steelers-Browns feels like the game you watch. It has names.
Yeah.
The teams are close in record.
Man.
Long storylines there.
Okay. Let's get to the later games.
This is the game the Lions feel like they got to win. Eagles at home.
But you can't watch that ever.
You can't watch it, just...
Ever.
I noticed it again scrolling.
Patriots Chargers at 4. Chargers at home, 5-point favorites. I guess we'll find out. The Patriots put up 53 points the other day. We'll find out how real their offense is getting. Chargers are supposed to be a class team in the NFL. 5-point spread, interesting. We'll find out how real. We're going to find out how real Herbert and the Chargers are. 5-2, Justin Herbert with the Chiefs ship sinking speaks. If the Patriots go to 4-4 and they just put up a 50-burger and then beat the Chargers on the road, that says something. Okay, I'm interested. Let's see what Belichick can do in that one to coach him up. Seahawks, Jaguars, no. My God. Bucks at Saints, that could be fun. The Saints somehow are 4-2. The Bucks are 6-1. It's in New Orleans, so if they can get something going early and get the crowd into it, that can be fun. I mean, I don't know. I think Tom sees a W pretty easily. So that game's not too exciting. That's the 4 o'clock slate. Jeepers creepers. Where'd you get them peepers? Night game could be fun. Cowboys at Vikings. Vikings are 3-3. They've been playing crazy games all year. I think they're coming off of their bye week, so they should be rested. Are the Cowboys also coming off their bye?
Both are off a bye.
Ooh.
And they get the Sunday night.
That kind of sucks for them. I don't like that. I like teams coming off their bye week and playing a beat-up team. That's like your advantage for a week. Damn. Like, whatever... One of these teams is going to feel like they just blew their bye week.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. That should be an entertaining game, though. Cowboys-Vikings in Minnesota. Dallas, 1.5-point favorites on the road.
So is Dallas's last game that crazy game with the Pats? Yeah. 35-29 win. It's cool.
So they're feeling good off their bye week. Minnesota's won the last 3 out of 4. Their last game was the crazy game with the Panthers. So, yeah, that's a fun one. So, okay, Sunday Night Baseball. It's going to be Game 5 of the World Series. We'll see where that's at. Cowboys-Vikes should be fun. I guess I hope Packers. Oh, and I almost skipped my Broncos again. Broncos, Washington football team. And you know what? I'm almost happy I skipped that. I wouldn't watch that. Okay, so if I had to map it out the best way I could, I think I'd go Steelers, Browns, maybe Titans, Colts at the 1 p.m.
Yeah, that feels like that game actually will be watchable. Missed it when we said which one's the winner.
Like the Browns could make that game ugly quick if they actually play like they should.
Those two games are the ones you're eyeing, and you might switch to the other one.
Yeah, that's where
Second half.
that's where your head should be at. The afternoon slate. I mean, always Tom Brady at the Saints, but Patriots Chargers, interesting. Cowboys Vikes, and Monday Night Football. Your G-men take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow.
Might be the Chiefs get right week.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll be able to talk.
I don't think any of the Giants guys are going to be back.
Yeah, that's.
I
just don't know.
Man, I don't like how available I am that night to watch that.
Yeah. Okay. That's the football
So
slate.
I will be seeing it.
It's the last weekend of baseball, people. So enjoy that. You really should. You really should, he says. Guys, let's start wrapping it up. We got to get to talking baseball, and then we're doing some other fun stuff today. The patrons know.
I think we said it on the stream.
Yeah, we're playing blitzball today.
Playing blitzball, you'll see it in a month.
Be out in a little bit. Guys, last episode, numbers great. World Series preview. Let's see.
Only 2 teams on bye this week. 6 last week.
Not worried about Houston at all. How many teams are on buys?
2. Last week they had 6.
How does that make sense?
4-4 that bad boy, and we're good.
Not a math pod.
Last week sucked.
Let's see. So this was 2 days ago. Not worried about Houston at all. I think this is a Houston fan, like saying I'm not worried. Jake Myers, Kyle Tucker, Jordan, still better than almost any team out there. People said the same stuff about losing Springer, and they're back in the World Series. Okay. Okay. I mean, we'll see how the outfield stuff plays out. I don't know who was worried about. Oh, I guess I was saying maybe this could be their last hurrah, because I was talking about losing Correa.
It's the end of like that era, which I think we said.
And how about this?
Said in
If
different
any
words.
team loses their middle of the lineup starting shortstop,
It's just a
that's
big
a turning
loss
of the
to
page.
Big loss to overcome.
I mean, who would be their shortstop?
Brady go back.
Are they in the shortstop market? Would they get like Javi Baez?
The year.
Do they have a shortstop prospect?
I wonder what their prospect situation is. I think Bregman. There's a year Correa missed some time. Bregman went over. He came up a shortstop.
That feels like a long time ago, but I know it's kind of not. But
I think 2019 he played a good amount of games there. Let me get real numbers.
I just think
Bregman played 65 games at shortstop in 19.
In 19, it's 21.
Only played third since, not even DH days. But I think he's a very good third baseman.
22.
I wonder what Houston fans, so many of you watch. What's the plan there? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess what it is. So last year with the COVID year, that obviously screws up a ton of stuff. And like the scandal came out in 2019, or at the end of 2019, that 2020 was supposed to be the like everyone's gonna boo the Astros, and then it didn't really happen. Couple weird people screaming in the streets, all that stuff. Like this is it. Like it's Dusty Baker with those guys. I think next year it's going to be like we already tell people, and you know a lot of Houston people get fake mad because they don't actually listen to our stuff. And we say, like, we're moved on, like, we're over it. And I think that's 90% true.
We're done with it being the primary conversation around the team.
Yes, but I think once this year is over and Houston either hoists the trophy and says, look, we did it again, that ends it. I think if Houston loses this year and Correa moves on, I think everyone's kind of at peace with it too. Like, the storylines are going to be Carlos Correa's on the Tigers with Hinch, or the Yankees. Is he the next A-Rod? Like, Houston's going to have their...
They'll always get shit. The guys from the team will always get shit about it, but...
like, the Houston team will feel a lot different. Altuve will be there. Bregman will be there. Jordan should be a star. Kyle Tucker should be a star. And
if Correa and Verlander leave,
Verlander,
then I think it's like 3 dudes left from the team, and one of them's McCullers, who's a pitcher. And I don't remember who the one besides Altuve is.
Right.
Gurriel there. Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Bregman, so maybe it's 4 guys.
38. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever it is.
It's an opinion. It's an opinion.
You'll hear about it because it's the how's the weather of baseball we've been saying.
BBD, it's a good episode. I pissed off Houston and Braves fans because I said it was going to be bad for baseball if the Braves won without Acuna. And if, I can see, and I said during it, how that can come off as a bizarre take. But the whole point is we want teams valuing the stars and going after better players. Like what the Braves did at the deadline, going out and trading for more guys to boost their talent. That's awesome. If the Braves win without Ronald Acuna, it's kind of that encourages front offices that luck is one of the biggest key factors come playoff time. And I don't want to encourage that. I want to encourage getting more talent. And that's where Tyler Heaton, he says, all I'm going to say is if the Dodgers made it to the World Series, no one would say, oh, if they win without Muncy, Kershaw, Turner, that's bad. The whole point there, Tyler, would be that they have boosted everything else so much. Like the Dodgers should be the example of what we want teams to do. Like they were a nasty team. They got Mookie Betts. They were a nasty team. They got Scherzer and Trey Turner. Like the Braves,
they put themselves in a position where there's a clear fill-in for if they lose their best player.
They threw a bunch of flyers at the wall, and they're good players, and I like that strategy. I would just really like Ronald Acuna Jr. to be there. And then, probably most importantly, Thomas in there defending me. Thank you, Thomas. J-Rob Central, which me and BBD promised we'd forget, and we'll work in at some point. The intro song sped up to 1.5 times is something everyone needs to do at least once. Retweeted it. And yeah, it was Flames. So we're going to start mixing that in. Thank you, J-Rob Central. Thank you to everyone. Great numbers last episode. World Series baseball. I just burped a little bit.
Do have an Astros thing.
What do you got?
So we're talking about what happens with Correa. One, their top 4 prospects are all listed as 2022 arrivals on the MLB thing, which isn't by itself anything, but just by the way, pieces coming. But 2 of their top 4 prospects, again, both with 2022 arrivals listed as shortstops.
Okay.
So
they could have one in the wings?
I'm guessing they at least hope one of them steps up and forces an issue.
Maybe you get a veteran and one of those guys, something.
They're the team that goes and just brings Simmons in to start the year, or Bregman slides over to start the year, and one of them's going to come up.
Right. And just, I guess what I was just trying to tell people is that would feel a lot different. Even if the kid's a freak, it's going to feel different seeing them play baseball than Carlos Correa
is elsewhere.
Pointing at the clock. Watch clock? Watch clock. Clocks are watches.
He's in a lot of ways.
Watches are clocks.
Him and Altuve, the faces of the team.
And they both have faces. My bro of the night is Chris Rose. Mm-hmm. He flew out. He had some medical stuff going on. He was a ton of fun during the streams. We did some watching stuff with him. And like I said, when the cameras turn off, he is a vile man. Vile, mean creature. Scared Zach. And none of that's true. Rosie's great. Always tweet at Rosie. Tell him how much you love him. He's the best, man. He completely gets it. It's good times. BBD, do you have bro of the night?
My bro of the night, we got Ice Guys. Go watch that Back Alley at Bats video. I love those boys. I've never laughed so much taping something. I've watched the full thing twice, once by myself, once with Zach. Just It's my favorite thing we've done in a while. My mom got an emergency appendectomy that day. That was the best day of my year.
Yeah, that's right. If you guys are back alley at bats that came out yesterday with the We Got Ice guys, they popped their heads in here sometime. Silly dudes. A lot of fun. Good blitzball content. A lot of silly stuff. Are they looking at us? No, they're just looking at each other's knees. Which was kind of true. There's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of good stuff in there. Go check it out. Go check out everything on the John Boy Media Network. We have Talking Baseball coming up in a little bit. Reset. Get Trevor Plouffe on the horn. The John Boy is here in the building. He looked at us and he waved. It was awesome. JJR yesterday. Draft some Halloween things. If you're into Halloween, go watch that. Mansplain Baseball, they're going nuts. Brave season. J&J TV, The Compound, Josh Donaldson.
I listened to all of it. I could listen to Josh Donaldson talk all day.
I like that. Talking Knicks tape, big game tonight. Talking Nets, talking baseball. That's next. I said that, guys. Talking
New
Yanks
Rose
with Chris
rotation
Rose.
tomorrow. We talking Yanks with Rose.
Wow, Chris Rose is everywhere. Tweet at him. Say nice hat.